Hello, friends. Welcome back to another epically long 1 hour video of painting. It wasn't going to be an hour, but then by some miracle, I actually was able to recover the first 13 to 14 minutes of intro video where the canvases were blank. And I was still kind of prepping, still kind of setting up. I don't know how I got it. And it was actually, a real pain to put into edit. Just a lot of issues with rendering and file formats. And as I've said, trying to make your life easier in some regards ends up making it a lot more complicated and difficult in others. But yeah, here I am just showing off these blank canvases.
Here's 4.
They were painted before. I think I mentioned before this, and
Yeah, these are just regular.
I used the last of the gesso that I had
It's a bottle.
to cover them.
We'll start with that.
Just really rough,
I do
a
have
rough
some slightly
coat.
better paint.
And here I am with really cheap paint. I believe that paint you can get at Michael's for maybe $1 or $2, maybe 99 cents a bottle.
Here to play.
But I knew that this first coat
Hopefully that's why we all do this. It's just
wasn't going to last,
for a living. So I want to.
but it was just something to throw down and let it guide me as I continued the painting process.
Junk. And that'll all go.
So
hopefully a lot of it will find its way onto this canvas.
let's see what happens. Let's see. I think at this point, I was talking and trying to paint at the same time. When I switch to day 2 in about 12 minutes, I stopped doing that.
I have no idea how much I'll even need.
I will be back.
Hopefully that chunk will stay.
Then, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, this paint is old. Not very good. There we go. Already getting somewhere.
I am pretty excited about. I just installed a sink. It's just 3 feet away from me, so that's really nice. I actually really liked how that blue splatter.
So that'll be great later.
Back to our regular scheduled program.
This feels like it might already have water, but
there we go.
Hope everyone's having a good night, or good morning, good afternoon. It says magenta. Maybe we should just start with that, see what happens. Oh, blue paint down. What I have here is a piece of laminate flooring. It's a nice rigid surface. And I just want to get as much of this covered as possible. I'm already liking how the paint, the watered down paint, is starting to fill in cracks, but we'll see what happens. This is a long way. We have a lot to do. So I'm gonna Well, that's pretty neat. I keep hitting my head. Oh, I wonder what that was. Oh well. I've been doing some other. I started a project and then never finished. I left it hanging to dry. Luckily, that's not too bad. But that's not what we're really about right now. But I keep hitting my head on this paper. Here's another one. That's got a long way. I've got a lot of projects right now that have a long way to go. So we'll see what happens. Do I want to put more paint and then pull this way? I like that line already. Not a big fan of. I say I'm not a big fan of metallic paints, but then I'm going to use it. We'll see what happens. Again, this is like the first layer. This, you know, there's a good chance that by the time it's over, none of this will ever be seen. So. Need some more paint down here. Oh, another paint that's never been opened. But as an aside, I need to come back and do some more. I like these pulls. It's a lot of fun. And maybe live in this world longer. After these pulls, I start getting a little more. Again, I lose like an hour of this. I only have the first 10, 15 minutes. But there's some interesting things going on here, and I need to probably play in this section a little bit longer for maybe the next piece. We'll see. Get back to it. All right, bye. Yeah, right now I'm wondering what I can get with this stuff. Like. Long way to go. A very long way to go. It's already getting really muddy here, some of it.
So this is where it was at
I don't
about
know what I'm
12 minutes in.
big shocker. I don't know what I'm doing.
A lot of mess, a lot of weird colors, some good things. That green was, looking back, pretty atrocious. And then, yeah, trying to scrape away pieces of it, let some of it sit, let some of it just go away. And it was right about here where the video just stopped, and that's all there is, and we'll never speak of it again. And welcome to day 2. I let these paintings dry, and I didn't look at them for a couple days, and now I'm just revisiting what's here. Remembering that, yeah, the sun's I'm not a big fan of the sun, not a big fan of some of the stuff. Looking at it, I'm kind of curious how will I crop it. I feel like once everything is done, first off, when is this stuff done? I've put so many marks, and artists in general, they put so many marks into a canvas or into a drawing. Every part of these canvases has been every part of the canvas, all 4 of them, have been packed with marks, colors, and lines. But then you have to ask yourself, does this surface hold any meaning at all? I mean, potentially every inch could mean something. But as I've talked about before, so much of this process is just almost subconscious or automatic, trying to get into an automatic flow state. And that's really hard to do right here, because while there is a lot of paint around, I never really considered myself a painter. So I'm kind of learning these materials as I go. And actually, to that point, yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I went to art school for 4 years and never took a painting class. And part of that is, my own, at the time, my youthful time. That was a critical failure on my part, just being kind of a snob, I guess, in that. So much of art school is learning the vernacular and being able to stand up for yourself and string pretty words together to justify the marks you made. And I was too busy trying to get the assignments done. So I had something to show after the studios. And I feel like the most successful artists were the ones that, could it almost felt like pulling a fast one over on people, the way they spoke about their stuff. And again, that's my problem. That's my issues with art and my perceived and preconceived notions of what was happening, justified or not. To me, it felt fake and contrived, and honestly, I was often surprised at how just some of the professors seemed taken in by it. Anyways, to that, so I was trying to distance myself from art. I was trying to figure out how to be a better craftsperson. I had a professor once that said she did not train working hands, meaning she did not want to train us how to function in a studio environment like Disney or Warner Brothers. This was the animation department. And she said that to, I believe it was the head recruiter of Warner Brothers Animation. So that, for people that wanted to maybe work in 2D animation at Warner Brothers at the time, that was not the best introduction for them. At the same time, I was way into stop motion, and the big thing at that time were those Tool videos and the Brothers Quay and stuff like that. So me embracing any of that was almost applauded. It was, I did some really I feel like the things I did there was very textural, and the lighting was really nice. Even though I didn't know what I was doing, it was all very blue and hazy. I'm trying to track down I have a video. This was in 1997, so all of my stuff was mixed down to, I actually have like a 1/2-inch tape somewhere, and I still have all this stuff on 16 millimeter film. But at one time, I had a DVD passed to me that had my film on it. So I need to find that, and I'll have to put it up on the channel. And it's, like I said, 1 minute I'm here talking about I was in art school trying not to be an artist, trying to figure out how to get a job. And on the other hand, making these, looking back now, pretty pretentious quasi Brothers Quay Tool video, sad shadows of productions. The character animation wasn't very good. But there wasn't the internet. I couldn't look up any of this. I didn't know how to do it, and my professors were, do what you feel. So it was a strange experience, a very expensive and strange experience. But luckily, the one good thing about being in school in the Northeast was it was close to Boston and close to New York City, which helped get me my first jobs out of college. One was at Olive Jar Animation Studios, that's where I started learning actual character animation, and was able to show up at the studio almost whenever they'd let me walk in and practice animation. And a director there was kind enough to show me a few tricks to, like, watch how you walk. Look how your arm does this, and that's how you can translate it onto a puppet. And that gave me enough experience to get my first real animation job in New York City on the first season of Celebrity Deathmatch. So while I may not have learned all the skills I would need to get a real job, and that's not to say people didn't. There are plenty of people that got out of school and almost immediately went on to be very successful. So kudos to them. I was not self-aware enough, I think, to know what the hell I was doing and to know how wrong I was with almost everything. But let's look at these paintings. What am I doing? Looks like I might have walked away for a minute. I should cut this. I should cut this down. It was requested that I make these videos shorter. I did not remove the comment, so you won't find it. It was given to me by my mother. She thought I dawdled too much with some of these. So thanks, Mom. I might go back and make really short versions of these. I thought it'd be fun to do maybe 10-minute or 5-minute versions, the cliff notes of these. But I've been too busy, and I don't want to go back and record 5 more minutes of audio. Talking for an hour is enough. So maybe in the future I'll revisit that, but right now I just like dawdling. But she was also very complimentary. She said I should try to get a job at a radio station in that 3 a.m. hour, so I could help those poor souls who are still awake get some rest. So appreciate that. Another pause. I think at this point I'm starting to wonder if the paintings are done. Which, after working on all 4 of them for just, at this point, 2.5 hours tops, I didn't want to be done, and I knew they had to keep going. Don't believe I had destroyed enough. We're still pretty early on in these layers. There's a lot more to go. I still wasn't happy with this sun, so I needed to figure out what to do with that literal sun. Excuse me if you can hear me drinking. It's pretty late, and it's very cold here in the basement studio. And so drinking a nice hot cup of coffee, but so I can get some sleep tonight. There's also a little bit of Irish whiskey mixed in to balance out the whatever caffeine I might be consuming. But I did like where these circles were going, these blue rings. I'm blending in. These are oil pastel sticks, and I was really enjoying how that was working. Again, these sticks, I've had these, I think I mentioned in an earlier video. I've had these things since '97, and now I'm finally using them. And they're, these are student grade sticks, so imagine the next step up, leveling up my oil pastels to intermediate or professional level. These would be masterpieces, or easy. More dawdling. I feel like I knew I had to do something with that lower right corner, and I was just trying to avoid it. I didn't like it. I didn't know what I wanted to put there. So I'll focus on these blue and white rings blending in color. I should probably turn around. It's been that side up for far too long. These are weird painting. I don't know. Are they weird? Or are they? It's it's all subjective, of course. And I think I like them. I don't know if I like them because I did them. Um, it's always fun going to a gallery with friends who aren't artists, and they might see something like a Jackson Pollock, and you always hear the comments about my my kid could do that. My kid could do that. My kid could do this. Why didn't I? I didn't. Why this? Why is this here? Anyone could have done this. And the easiest response is, but no one had. No one had seen anything like that at this point in time. They were first. And now a lot of the times you hear to overcome writer's block or creative block or that person the imposter's syndrome, that everything has been done before. Every story has been told, every picture has been drawn, every angle has been seen and represented, but you haven't done it yet. So I'm doing something. I haven't seen anything exactly like this. I'm sure that there's something like this out there somewhere. I'm not inventing this in a vacuum, which is an exact direct opposition of what I said in the last video, where I said I was creating art in a vacuum. But that's one of the fun things about being vocal for any length of time. You will contradict yourselves, I think. I will. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, at this point, with those earlier paints, the first couple layers, the first, those earliest paints, the cheap paints, the base layer the base layer paints were you can see the quality. Like when stuff dried, they would become very muted and dull, And I knew that would happen, and that's, at this point, painting with better paints and able to push back and bring back some of the lightness, the light and tonal qualities. Do like how that yellow's popping out now from separating from the background. I don't think I've asked. How are you guys doing? So, times are strange. Hopefully getting a little bit better for us. I gotta say, coming down to my basement and being able to work on this stuff, it's really helped me out this last year. And I'm glad the handful of you that are sticking with me with this stuff are still here. And I hope, I don't know, you look at this, I don't know, am I an entertainer at this point? I've kind of always looked at myself as an entertainer because I am a stop motion animator. And I worked on shows like Celebrity Deathmatch and Robot Chicken, funny shows, enjoyable shows. Hell and Back, highly recommend you watch Hell and Back without your kids around. Definitely without your kids around. Um, but it's these shows aren't of mice and men. They aren't. They're not Shakespeare. And with these shows, I approach a very is it Sullivan's Travels approach to these shows, in that they mean a lot of things to other people. If there are people that need the comedy, that need a laugh. My father-in-law was a doctor in the Air Force, and he would tell me about these kids, these fresh recruits that would come in, and I don't know how it would come up in conversation, but he would mention, or he would come up that I was an animator on like Robot Chicken, and they would lose their minds because they love that stuff. And I was, it's really nice to be able to know that you are helping people, helping them laugh, helping them forget whatever their troubles are. It's harder to justify that now with my work, but everyone needs a sofa, so. But I know there's a few of you out there that are entertained by these videos, and that really makes me happy. So what are you guys working on right now? Hopefully you're working on something and I'm talking to you while you do it, and I'm providing just enough background noise that you don't have to look over to see what I'm doing, and you're painting or drawing or making wargaming scenery. And you're all doing okay. Man, what a piece of mess this painting is. It gets better, I promise. Again, I feel like with these paintings, you get to a certain spot where it's like, oh, I think this is a thing. Whatever this thing was, some sort of portal or doorway to something. I feel like it was far too early in this process to be assigning roles to anything. Is that a correct way to work? I don't know. It's so much fun just making marks and making a big mess. But I didn't go in with any kind of form or thought. I counted. I lost count. I forgot. I have 20. I wrote it down even. There it is. I have 24 canvases sitting in my basement that have some paint, no paint, paintings that were painted and then decided they were never going to be hung up on a wall or not worth, being dealt with. So, to the trash bin or to my artist studio dungeon to do whatever the hell I'm doing. So, with 24 paintings, actually 25, I am currently using a blank white canvas as a bounce card for the animation I'm doing for work. And it's working quite nicely. So 25 canvases, 21 is occupied. So at 24 canvases, I still have to finish these. There goes the sun. It's setting. But so 24 canvases with this is the end of February. Oh yeah, so I have to adjust my math because I think I counted for 10 months. Yeah, so if I wanted to paint all these canvases this year, that's 2.5 canvases a month. And they're not all this size. Most of them are larger. So I don't think I'll try to do 4 in one shot again. Maybe 2. I think starting out with 4 at once is it's a good trick to just get stuff out there, and then the editing process will, come back to do 1 at a time. But that'd be pretty awesome, right? What do you guys think? If I can get 24 paintings done in a year, is that a goal I should even consider? That seems like a lot. And there's so many other things to do too. There's stuff. No, there's I do want to do more writing. I do want to do some storytelling. I like the abstract. I like this stuff, but I feel like there are other things to do. And I just caught wind of a jam project that's happening, and the deadline for that I think is in September. So I need to figure out if I want to do that or not. That'd be awesome. That'd be a team group effort. So I have to ask my team my crackerjack team if we want to do this thing. We'll see. If we do it, I'll talk about it in a future video. If not, you'll forever be wondering what I was talking about. Yeah, I also have a lot of videos I still need to edit. But these have been so much fun. And that's the real thing, you know. It's like I get antsy. Like I'm in my basement anyways, working for work. But you know, I think all of us would rather be doing our own stuff. So you know, you gotta sit by and do real work until 5 or whenever your time is up, and then get to it. So we have some instant layering here. It's instant destruction, instant wildcards. So that's that one container. That's some glue, watered down glue, and I'm just trying to create like a you know, basically wallpaper it on, gluing both sides of it to the canvas. This all does look very precious, doesn't it? I don't know. I feel like, should I be working faster? Clearly not smarter. I'm not going to work smarter. Maybe someday, but not right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, you know, when you're in it, you're not thinking about how long it takes to glue down a piece of paper. But apparently it can take a couple minutes. And that'll all dry clear, so you'll still see everything underneath it. Yeah, I shouldn't. You know, I don't know what I'm doing, so I stopped to look. Like, what should I do here? What should I do there? And I feel like this video is better than, or this stage of the process of painting. I feel like I am moving a little bit faster. If I stop, it's because I don't know where I put the glue, or a brush to put the glue on. Oh yeah, and that was interesting. I started dabbing at the. I was gonna leave all that on, and then I just started dabbing at it, and the glue. You know, it's like a rubber, so it just kind of peeled right up. It was kind of neat extra texture. yeah, maybe if I do 24 paintings plus other projects, I all this art stuff, the getting back into art hardcore, I guess. Hardcore? Just getting back doing all this stuff. It really started in October, which for the Chance-tober videos, that's really when I started doing these videos again, or just started doing videos. I started doing videos in October, and I've been doing art before then, but this video is kind of the catalyst to push me forward to do more and bigger and whatever, more experimentation, more doing. And so late last year, I ended up, a friend of mine and we both applied for this little art grant in Connecticut. And it didn't cost anything, so I didn't expect anything, which is good because I didn't get anything. And it makes sense. You're going up against artists who have been doing it for their entire adult career. And here I am just getting started. I mean, we're all amateurs. We only have 100 years tops. And of that 100 years, what? 50, 60 of prime. 60? I don't know. Teenage to, let's say, 80? I don't know. We only have so much time. There are very few of us that can afford the time to become a master, right? So, I'm an amateur. But, maybe in a year, at the end of this year, if I've done 24 paintings, and I can wax philosophical on them. Tap, 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 move paint. I actually like that. Yeah, I got there's a little bit of white paint that splattered. You aren't seeing it, but it's amazing. Yeah, maybe 24 paintings. If I work like the world's ending, that's all I got. I promise not to video all of them. Uh-oh, am I dawdling? Dawdling it again. But I like where this one is going. I like the texture on the right side. I like that blue circle orb. There's some good things going on. Can't decide which way is up for that piece of paper. There we go. Good. Oh, no, I changed my mind. Just need more glue. Oh my goodness. Yeah, folks, I think if I'm any kind of indication, if I'm just average, you have to assume that most people don't know what they're doing. I mean, you can know technically what you're doing. There's an interesting printmaker named Sean Star Wars, and I've heard a couple interviews with him. Now he's on. You can Google him. He's on a handful of podcasts, and he's of course a printmaker, but he also teaches. And his big thing is he'll walk into a classroom and say, "Hey, these are the tools. This is what the tools do. This is the block that you carve into. Cut away from yourself so you don't cut your hand off." And that's it. Now you know as much as anyone else who's going to make a lino cut ever or a wood cut ever. After that, it's refinement and finding your vision and finding your voice. And his voice is awesome. Godzillas and monsters and Star Wars characters and robots, dinosaurs. His stuff's awesome. I highly recommend you find Sean Star Wars. But his thing also is just, I mean, the volume, this stuff is so cool, and there's so much of it. That there's no, you would never want to try to copy that or imitate it, because he's been doing it forever and there's so much of it. There's no, like, that's not your voice. You got to find your own thing. Why am I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about. Yeah, don't steal his stuff. You can steal mine. Mine doesn't look like anything. So there's a lot of leeway. What am I talking about? That took a long time to glue that paper down. I apologize. Dawdling again. What am I? I didn't record myself for any of this. I didn't record myself talking while I was painting. So I have no idea what I'm thinking. But, oh yeah, here comes this. Yeah, I like this orange. Burnt umber, maybe. Yeah, I've had a really great time doing these. And I think it's safe to say, casting out, I've got another video that I need to do audio records. I'll take a break. It won't be soon, but I have another, and I think that video is about an hour. So I do another total hour of work on these. And then I think the video after that will probably end up being maybe a little bit shorter and maybe a little more detailed on individual pieces, trying to finish them. At least finish them for now. Who knows? Maybe in a month I'll come back and be like, oh yeah, that would look good with some purple or something. Yeah, I don't know. I should not be thinking. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking about them. Less time looking, more time doing. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to look at this and see what I was seeing. Oh yes, this here. That's I've got some other art pieces that I was doing early on that I used plastic bags to. It's kind of like almost as a mono printing tool to get paint on paper and canvas. And so I have all these. Of course, I saved these plastic bags that have paint flaking off of them, but they're just really neat textures. And that's what that is. That's a plastic bag. Recycle, reuse, renew. So it's not going to wind up in a landfill today. And that helps. This painting, like I said, it's got that weird eye of whatever. And it's yeah, it needs that needed to get, it needs to get broken up. And see, I'm still I can't remember what I did. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's been a while, so I don't remember what I do to it. I can't remember if I break it up. Oh, there we go. Come on, do it. Just. Nope. Oh, yeah, I think I did that. Well, that might need to go. I need a thinking stick. That might be a video I need to do. I've gotten some. I've gotten the ask. But I'm afraid that the research I've done, it sounds like it's not a thinking stick, it's a checking stick. And I at this point, I think it's just shenanigans. I mean, of course it's shenanigans, but what I mean to say is I think it's something that David Lynch made up for himself. I don't think it exists anywhere else except in his brain. So, is that a path we want to venture down? I am not sure. Okay, so I break into the vortex a little bit right there, but not. I don't. Looking at it now, maybe not enough. I can't remember if I do anything else to it. I actually have the paintings upstairs right now in natural light, so I can look at them. They look different, not in a basement. So it's nice to walk by them during the day. That helps with trying to figure out where they'll go next. Seeing them in a context that's not native to their creation. But that's it. I think we're closing in on the end. I'm tearing up paper. I can't remember, honestly. You and I, friends, watching this for the first time. I honestly don't know what I do. I don't remember. I want to say I put it, no, lower. There, come on, do it. Good job, me. I think I do it. Do it. I'm dawdling. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna edit though. The suspense is killing me. There we go. All right. Good job, Dan. What will happen next? I honestly can't remember. I'll have to look at it when I go up to bed soon. Because I don't remember what I did. All right, friends, I think that's it. Thanks for sticking with me. It's been another hour. Be safe. And take care of yourself. All right. I love you guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Goodbye.